Yeah, I thought, Chadron's got a brand new coach, new staff, and I think they're doing a phenomenal job just 2 games in. They had a barn burner last night, an international that they were down pretty much the whole game, and then they came back in the last 3 minutes or under 3 minutes and won it. So it was not a team that we woke up treating lightly by any sort of way, and they gave us a battle. And I think they're a really good team that's going to have a really big impact in the RMAC this year. So I give them all the credit, and we were just lucky to pull back or come out with a 2-point win.
Now, you mentioned it was a battle, and it was just back and forth the whole game. Had a chance to win it in regulation, ended up winning it in overtime. Can you talk about the mental side to that, the resiliency and sort of battling through, every punch you had to hit a counter?
Yeah, I think us, one thing that coach talks about every day in practice is just instilling a culture. Um, and for us older guys that have been around the block at different schools and just been in college basketball, we understand big moments, and we understand how every play kind of has an impact in the long run. So understanding that even if things didn't go our way, that we have to punch back and continue to punch back, and ultimately, come through. Was kind of, I think, how we ended up pulling it out. And just in overtime, double overtime, that's kind of what's necessary because that's 50 minutes of game time right there. So just kind of staying locked and understanding that, hey, we're built for these moments. We've been here before. So.
Now, Nate, for you specifically, back and forth all game, had solid game, ended 14-5, but it was that defense and offense subbing a lot late in the game. You come in, hit that big shot late in overtime. Can you talk about that ability to sort of stay ready when you're on and off the floor so much late?
Well, another thing that Coach also talks about is just staying prepared. We talked about the body system yesterday with anybody, nobody, everybody, and somebody. And understanding that this is a total team effort. It's going to be 13, 14 guys rotating. So in my mind, at no point when I get subbed am I ever down. I'm ready for the next guy to make a play, and if he calls me, I'm ready. But this is stuff I work on. I'm in the gym every day, multiple times a day. It's what I came here for, to really see what I could do about my game, and the coaches here have really helped me with it. So it's stuff I work on every day, and I'm never shying away from the moment.
Coach, can you explain that body system a little more?
Yep, I try to read up on what I can look into and find motivation for the guys just because they deserve the highest level of work ethic from me and from our staff. And I think I came upon a poem about there's 4 people: everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody. And everybody has an opportunity to be one of those 4 people at any point in time. And that was the talk that I gave yesterday, that everybody's going to have an opportunity and everybody has a job. Somebody's going to make an impact either one way or the other. Anybody has the ability to do so, and nobody's going to let us down.
Now, it seems to be timed up pretty well because that play late in the game, obviously in overtime, it would seem to have been drawn for someone else, and ball just sort of found its way to Allen. Talk me through that play, what was maybe originally drawn up, and just sort of Allen being there, being ready.
Yeah, and I'll back up to the inbound play that you talked about with Lace. Lace was option 5. And so he did his job, and I told him, I said, your job is to get Isaiah open, and then after he clears you, you're going to be the last resort to slip through. And you talk about discipline. Lace went out there and did exactly what he needed to do. Isaiah did his job and cut as hard as he could, took 2 defenders with him, and that opened up the opportunity. Now, don't get it wrong, that was a hard catch because they threw it to his feet, and he was able to catch it, bring it up, and power through to get an and one. And to be honest, that basket's the one that won us because we were able to go back and forth the rest of the way to where they had to tie us, and then we would come back and take the lead. Last play was an opportunity for 5 guys to be involved. It wasn't necessarily for Isaiah because, again, it was an opportunity for Lace to get a screen for Isaiah, and if he was double covered, to throw the ball back down into Lace. And I thought he was open. Zay did a great job of reversing it over. Zion kind of loses it a little bit, who, talk about Zion, has 20 points. I have no clue Zion has 20 points. But Allen comes up with it, and Allen had a chance to win it in regulation. He gets redemption, and it goes in overtime. But that's just a credit to our program that there's nobody bigger than the program. And any opportunity somebody has to make an impact, I trust the 5 guys on the court. Jordan Henderson is the offense defense that you talked about with Lace. Jordan scores 1 point, but Jordan had a huge impact athletically on the back end of it to where he was able to tip out balls, wall up, and he did that with 4 fouls. Brian Gordon doesn't play really in the first half because he has 3 fouls. He comes in the last 2 minutes plus overtime. And again, you look at his stat line and it doesn't show anything. But we don't win that game without Brian Gordon's defensive stance late in the game. And that's just who our program is. It takes everybody.
We're good. Coach, appreciate you taking the
Go
time.
Habs.